All right, guys, let's get it started. We'll see if Blue Hills brings some more people. We are live streaming this right now, so thank you guys for joining in who are live streaming. Unfortunately, all the cameras we usually have were not connecting. Hours of time, it didn't work. So we've got the FaceTime camera going. If you guys need to leave, please go out the back door or go around the table, okay, so you don't walk through. But let me introduce our speaker today. Ricky Zazueta is the Director of Wellness and Reentry at the Residential Treatment Center Renaissance Ranch in Bluffdale, Utah. Ricky was once incarcerated in the Utah State Prison for 7 years. Upon Ricky's release in 2019, he walked out of prison with a high school diploma, a culinary arts degree, 2 years of therapy, and 2 years of substance abuse treatment. In his years since his release, he worked his way from line cook to chef, personal trainer, to now Director of Wellness and Reentry. Ricky is a testament to hard work and dedication, but most importantly, of how to pull yourself out of a dark place and leverage your story to help others. Come hear his beautiful story of triumph and now beat the odds from within. Give it up for Ricky Zazueta, guys.
Let's go. What's up, y'all? How you guys doing today? Hey, man. First off, I just want to thank you all for allowing me to tell my story. Because I'm not supposed to be here. I'm not supposed to be up here speaking with you. I'm not supposed to be here sharing my story. You know why? Because I didn't care enough. I was the kid with so much potential, but didn't care enough. I was the athletic kid, but didn't care enough. I was the kid who seemingly had everything going for him, but still, I didn't care enough. I didn't care all the way through middle school. I didn't care all the way through high school. I didn't care all the way through my adulthood and all the way to prison. Let's take a look. My name is Ricky Zazueta, currently standing in front of the Utah State Prison, a place where I spent actually 7 years. I spent 7 years in this place. I actually got my life together and got everything figured out. I have the opportunity to go in there and kind of relive some things. Damn. This building right here, dude, after 7 years, this is the building. This is called the Glass House. This is the building you're working towards. It took me 7 years to walk through that house. 7 straight years. My family struggled because I was in there. You don't gotta struggle. This room right here, in this room right here, this room right here, I raised my kids through this room. My daughter right now, who's actually recording me right now, actually sat in this visiting room with me, wept for me, cried for me. I raised my kids in this room. It's crazy. I used to work in this kitchen. This is where I first got my taste of cooking, mass cooking for 2,700 inmates. I was a lead cook in here, getting paid $1.25 an hour, $150 a month. This is cell 7. This is a cell that I spent numerous years in the cell right here. You guys want to know how prison looks? You living in a bathroom. This was my bunk. At one point, I was in here with my little brother, and he lived up here. I used to look out this window all the time, try to see how the weather looked. You're living in a 6x8 cell. You're pretty much living in a bathroom. We're about to head to A block right now. When you first fish in, this is the door. This is the block that they send you to. I lived on this block for years. This is probably the oldest part of the prison. Showers right here to the right.
Were they to the point of strip down, shampoo up, and say, "Come get me"? No.
This is the oldest part of the prison right here. Right here, Oos. This was my house right here.
Oh, what?
This was my house right here. This is another cell that I spent years in this cell. This was a single man dorm. I lived in this cell by myself for several years before I got moved in 2000. I got moved in 2017 to the Conquest program. This right here in this little area, I want you to picture this. We got chairs right here, all the boys, all the poly boys, we sitting right here. We get these right here, make a bunch of saimingi, we'll make some spreads, we'll eat up, and we'll eat and enjoy the time that we have in here, man. We try to do our best. I'm gonna tell you right now, man, prison is not where you wanna be. I struggled my way through this place, and I made it out. These are the ones that are suffering. You see that? This is somebody's child, somebody's woman, somebody's child that they're missing. That's what this place does. This right here is the yard. This right here where all the action would happen. If it was going down, it was going down right in this area. This grass right here, the somewhat of what you see is grass. I actually laid that sod. I was actually here long enough to lay it. And this right here, this pull-up bar, this is where we would come and get our money. And try to stay fit and try to keep our mind off of the time we were doing. Look at that. The mental health hold because I was like, dude, I want to stay in this area so my wife could visit me and my kids, you know what I mean? So they never thought of counting me out. Hey, come on. Let's go get a quick session. Don't play with me, dog. Let's go get a quick session. What's up, host? Let's go real quick. Let's go get a quick session. Come on. Come on. Let's go get a quick session. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go! My bad. I spent a lot of years in these walls. A lot of guys, they might be furthering their criminal behavior, which a lot of us do. We have no choice but to try to survive in this place. You know, I had to do what I had to do to survive, but I also did what I had to do to get my education. I actually got a high school diploma while I was sitting in prison. I actually went to college and got my college degree in the culinary arts, a degree in which I'm utilizing right now to this day as a private chef at a private rehab center. So if you guys are struggling right now and you keep coming back and you're just adding on to the recidivism rate, I'm gonna tell you right now, you can make it. Sobriety looks good. You stay away from the drugs, you stay away from that lifestyle, it's gonna organically happen on its own. Unfortunately, I had to spend 7 years in this place in order to really learn myself and really to dig in deep and do what I needed to do to figure myself out. to learn my addiction, to learn the reasons why that brought me to this place that took me away from our kids. I've raised my kids in these walls. My kids suffered, my wife suffered, and I told myself every single day that I'm gonna do what I need to do so I don't repeat the mistakes that brought me here in the first place. I've been thugging and bugging and living gang life and living that thug life my whole life. Once I stepped foot in this prison, it was different for me.
Message to my dad. I am so happy that I came today to experience this with you. Being on the outside, not really knowing what you experienced being in prison was already a heavy rock on my heart, as well as our family's hearts. And all I could do was imagine what you've been through and what you had to deal with. But meeting the people today who have come to support each other and seeing everything that you guys had to endure really put a different perspective in my heart. And it hurts it, but as well as makes me super appreciative to what you have been through to make the man that you are today. And I am very lucky to have you as my dad and to share your story and inspire others, because you inspire us every single day. And I love you so much. And our family loves you, and we appreciate your hard work. And keep doing you. I love you.
When you're in prison right here, I spent all those years back there. This is the place I was working towards to get. This is the place where you leave this place and put it behind you.
Appreciate you guys. Hey, so before I close, I'm mainly speaking to the kids, man, to the young ones, but this message could be, taken by the adults as well too. I can't care for you more than you care about yourself. Your teachers, they can't care about you more than you care about yourself. Your parents, they can't care about you more than you care about yourself. It's you. It's you who has to care. It's you who has to see the potential you have and care. It's you who has to see the qualities you possess and what you are capable of and care. Because that care is going to be the most important care you carry throughout your whole life. That care is going to drive you to stay away from negative influence. That care is going to be the moral compass that guides you through life. That care will also give you the courage to build upon all the hurt, all the pain, and all the trauma you may have already experienced in your young lives. You guys already seen what not caring got me. My not caring got me put in a cold, dark, cinder block cell. My not caring got me staring down the prison hall of a 30-year sentence. My not caring took away my wife, took away my kids, took away my whole family. So I'm here today to tell you it's you who has to care. Because you are powerful, you are smart, and I know you may not see it, but one day, you're going to make an important impact in this world. So the time to care is now. Because I can't care about you more than you care about yourself. Thank you guys. Appreciate you. Hey, thank you so much. Hey man, I like I said, that message, right? That message, I tailored that message and put that message together for the kids. I was a kid who struggled through the system. I was a kid who went to juvenile hall. I was a kid who was on probation. I was a kid who had substance abuse issues. I was that kid fighting, getting in trouble in school. I didn't graduate in high school. I didn't graduate from high school. You guys want to know where I graduated? I graduated high school in prison. That's where I graduated in high school. Because like I said, I didn't care. And I try to ask myself, what message could I bring across to these kids that could reach you guys and kind of plant that seed of growth? And I try to put myself and remember where I was at your guys' age and the lives you guys are now. And all I kept thinking was I didn't care. My parents might have loved me, my family might have loved me, but I didn't love myself enough. I didn't care about myself enough. So I hope that message landed with you guys, man. I hope that message, you guys take that and just understand that you guys are powerful, you are strong, no matter what your situation is, no matter whether you have your parents, whether you don't have your parents. I don't know what you guys' situations are, but you guys got to love yourself and celebrate yourself. Because even right now on this day, there's someone's life that you make an important impact in. You guys play a special role in somebody's life. You may not hear it all the time, you may not see it, but you guys do. I want to leave this time open for questions for anybody. And you guys have questions, the adults, if you have questions, I like to leave time for questions so I can help shed some light on some of the things you guys may be experiencing.
Question about you specifically. What made you start caring?
I think, I didn't care for a long time. I honestly probably didn't start caring until I was in prison. I'm 40. I'm about to be 41 this weekend. And I didn't start caring until I was, I came from addiction. I had a strong addiction. And once I was able to take that addiction out of my life because I was incarcerated, I started thinking different. I started thinking about my family. I started thinking about my kids. I started thinking about my loved ones and the role that I played in their lives. And I think that's what made me start caring the most. Thinking about the loved ones and the people who love me, because they love me a lot. And I know they love me a lot. My wife, I went to prison for 7 years. I would never wish that on any woman, to have to sit and wait for their man to come out of prison. My wife waited for me. She raised my kids. She did all that she could to give my kids the best life they could. And that showed me too, because she cared about me a lot, I needed to come out better. I needed to come out of prison better than when I went in. So I think another thing that will help you, young man, is to celebrate yourself. I think a lot of times when we don't care about ourselves, it's because we don't have much confidence in ourselves. And a lot of times we don't have much confidence in ourselves, it's because we're not giving ourselves some affirmations, and we may not be hearing it from other people. You got to celebrate yourself. I'm sure you're a great, bright young man, so celebrate that. I hope that answered your question.
What advice could you give me for going into a new home that I'm not used to and trouble with substance abuse again?
Okay, so as far as the home, I mean, I don't know how it feels to go from home to home, right? So I'm sure you've accumulated some trauma dealing with people who probably weren't the best people to be in a home with, right? So of course you're gonna have to be on your cues, right? Of course you're gonna have to be alert and be aware. But once you start feeling that love from the people that are in that home, I would ask you to be open to it because you're worthy of love. And a lot of times these families that are opening up their families for kids that need a home, for the most part, is coming from a place of love. But the only way that love is going to be able to transfer to you is if you're open to it. And once you're open to it and feel that love, it's going to feel a lot more better for you. And what was the second part to your question? Okay, staying away. Okay, I'm going to tell you guys something. I'm an adult. I practice this today. I stay away from losers. And when I say losers, I say gang affiliated, drug affiliated, anybody who's doing anything negative, I stay away from you. And that's how I stayed out of prison. And when you start celebrating yourself and caring about yourself, that's all already going to happen on its own. It's organically going to happen on its own. When you start caring about yourself and start loving yourself and start celebrating yourself, you're going to want better for yourself. So organically, we're going to get around someone that's negative. You're not going to want to be around that, right? And I get it. You guys are young. We want to have fun. We don't like rules. I get that. But there's a better way to have fun and still be yourself. You know what I mean? And still keep in mind that you guys are young men that one day are going to be adults, right? So it's important who you surround yourself with. There's a saying they say, show me your friends and I'll show you your future, right? I don't hang around bums. I don't hang around people that are still actively in addiction, still actively acting like idiots, right? That's going to sustain my reality. I hope to answer your question, bro. What's up, my bro?
I just want to say congratulations on your success. And then, did it take you more than once going to prison and actually having a change of heart?
So I've been in and out of incarceration my whole life, from juvenile hall to jail, but it only took one time to prison. When I went to prison, and I went to go. How many of you guys been to Utah State Prison? You guys been to that one, right? The Draper one, right? I hope it didn't bring back some traumatic events, man, some traumatic memories, man. But when I went to the board, you guys are familiar with the board of pardons. When I went to the board of pardons, and I was I was on a 1 to 15, 2 1 to 15 stacked back to back, so I had a 30-year top. They ran my 1 to 15s consecutive, so that's why my 1 to 15 turned into 30 years. And when I went to the board after being max for 6 months, I went to go try to tell them, hey man, I want to do good. I've been clean for 6 months. I'm looking good. I'm a little bit healthy. I ate a couple sandwiches, had a couple naps back there. You know what I mean? I'm good. You guys gonna let me out? Soon as I said, sir, he said, don't talk. He said, Mr. Zazueta, come back in 5 years and we'll talk about it then. 5-year rehearing right out the gate. So once that happened, and I hear my wife in the background, she said, man, did he say 5 years? Did he say 5 years? Mind you, she's pregnant. She's about to give birth to my baby, my youngest child. It did something to me, dog. And I came across a fork in the road while I was incarcerated, because we all know, drugs are readily accessible in prison too. And I came across a situation where somebody pulled it out. I was like, hey, homie, let's get high. And you know what I mean? My life flashed before my eyes, bro. And I made a choice right then and there. I said, no. I said, nah, homie, I'm good. And I've been saying, nah, homie, I'm good since then. 7 years later, I got out of prison with a high school diploma, a college degree. I work in the recovery industry. And like I said, I worked my way to be the director of wellness and reentry at the Renaissance Ranch in Bluffdale, Utah, one of the leading men's wellness centers in the state of Utah. So I'm helping men. So it took thinking about my family. My boy, you guys got to celebrate yourself. We're convicted felons. A lot of times, because we've been to prison, we think that that's the end of it. Nah, I was just talking about it today. That's not the end of our story. That's the beginning. That's not your weakness. That's your power. Right? Keep that in mind, my boy. What's up, OG? Let's hear it. Absolutely, carnal. Hey, homie, check it out. My dad's an OG. I'm half Mexican, half Samoan. My dad's a Southsider. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I grew up around the brosha and everything. You know what I mean? Appreciate you, homie. We got any more questions?
So doing prison time, I'm aware that patience is a tool that you got to come across. First thing, especially with the board of guardians. I've been in and out since 2019, and it took me about, well, 5 times for my tools, my inner tools inside to really kick in. I'm actually very impressed that it only took you one time to go in and one time to come out. Patience, the tools, the just accepting. I'm actually very influenced from your guidance to go in, come out, and be a great influence to all of us. But when did your inner spirit decide to kick in on the tools?
First of all, aho, my brother. Aho. So staying away from substances, bro, that's the key, dog. We didn't come out the womb with a 40 ounce in our hand. We didn't come out the womb with a pipe in our hand. Did we not? Those are all learned behaviors that we learned through to how to cope with life that was thrown at us, right? So it gradually affected us. It gradually made us do negative things. It gradually made us hurt our family. It gradually made us steal from our family, right? So staying away from it is going to do the same exact thing. It's going to gradually revert to that loving person that you are, right? To that loving person you are. So when I stayed away from the substances in prison, like I said, it organically happens on its own. Now your priorities change because you don't got drugs. You don't got drugs affecting how you feel and how you think. Because when you think about drugs, that's paramount. When you're actively in your addiction, that's all you think about. But when it's not away, look, homie, we're not pieces of shit. We're not. Even though some of you guys may feel like, well, oh man, I'm a piece of shit. I've done this to my family. Nah, you didn't do that to your family. Your substance did that to your family. So when you stay away from that substance, bro, it organically happens on its own. You start thinking different about your reality and the role you play in your life. You know what I mean? And that's what I say about celebrating you guys. It's important for you guys to celebrate yourself, man. I hope that answered your question, my boy. No, you good. No, you good. Yeah, the camera's good. I feel the camera. I love the camera, but man, we finna tap in with y'all, okay? Because I'm not gonna be back out here. So you guys are looking at. I've been clean for 14 years. 7 years in prison. I've been out since 2019. I've been clean ever since, right? So you guys are looking at a man that's vibrating at a high frequency. That's what you got. Now I wouldn't want to say a man. You're looking at a human being that's vibrating at a high frequency, right? I'm protecting my family. I'm providing for my family. I'm emotional support for my kids, right? So I'm not going to be here. So let's get these questions. And I want to be able to shed light because every single one of you guys are me. I'm you. Does that make sense? I'm no different than you. I walked them halls with you. I slept in them cells with you guys. Let's get that. So when I got out of prison, I did the culinary arts program in there. Some of you guys may be familiar with it. Mike Serasio, which was the instructor for Davis Tech, he gave me a card right before I got out of prison. He was like, "Hey, here, go to this place. I told this lady about you, and she'll give you an interview. I'm not gonna say she'll hire you, but she'll give you an interview." I went to that place, told her my story. She was crying by the end of the interview. She said, "I want to hire you right now." She hired me. So I started off as a line cook at Red Lobster. I was there for about 4 months. Eventually got a better job. I got a job as a chef at this restaurant called Thistle and Thyme, which is owned by the Marriott over there by University Park, by University of Utah. And I eventually got promoted to a banquet chef. So I started doing banquet chefing over there, bro. And then eventually I got the chef position at the Renaissance Ranch. And right now I'm in the process of transitioning from me cooking to letting the clients cook because I got a promotion. So I'm gonna be doing what I'm doing right now. Absolutely. Hey, homie, can I get your number? Nah, you can't. That's all I said. Nah, homie, you can't get my number, dog. Simple and plain. You got it. You got it. Come on. We're from that life. We know what time it is. Homie, you're doing bad. Why you even asking for my number? That's the type of energy I'm on. Why are you asking for my number? If you know I ain't about that. And for the most part, right? When you're out there and you're vibrating at that high frequency, when you've been drug free, that you're exuding that energy. So for the most part, your old homies that you see, when they see you vibrating high and you glowing and you shining, oh, they're gonna look at the ground. But they're gonna be like, oh, what's up? What's up, Smack? Of course I show love. Man, what's up, my boy? You good? Yeah, you right, man? You hungry? Man, go and get you a sandwich, my boy. You know what I mean? Show them some love and push on. For the most part, they already know. Darkness doesn't want to go hang out with light, period. Does that make sense? So, but when people did, you're going to get those ones that don't care that you're doing good, that they really want to bring you a part of their misery, right? If it's like, hey, Smacks, what's up, homie? Can I get your number? Can I call you? Nah, you can't. What's up?
So when you like started working out because like you were in prison,
Yeah.
the day would go by, like what kept you motivated to like want to keep working out so that you didn't like have those challenges?
So in the beginning, right, where working out wasn't even something that I wanted to look good. It was more of something that was keeping me busy, right? And then I learned early that consistency was key. Consistency is super important. And as far as the motivation, I sometimes I would force myself, you know what I mean? But I mean, when you're working out, it makes you feel good. So I say just me constantly trying to be consistent with everything I do. It woke me up every day to work out. And I've been working out ever since. I don't miss a day now. I've been working out ever since. I hope that answers your question, bro. We had one right here. Real quick, we'll get some of these kids and we're going to double back. So you got some knowledge of prison. Yeah, so politicking, right? So in prison, in the state of Utah, I'm Polynesian, so I was with the Polynesian car, and we're a prominent force in the Utah State Prison. And it's not like that in any other prison. We're usually we're the minority in other prisons, right? So I kind of learned, early, like I said, with light does not, darkness does not want to hang around with light, right? So a lot of the homies that were already gang affiliated, they're already bought in. They're already like, what's up, homie? Let's hit the front line. You know what I mean? They already knew not to come at me like that, because what am I doing? I'm getting my education. I stayed active for one. I stayed busy working. I stayed working because I'm out of the section. I'm not back at the section with them bums over there trying to snort coffee or you know what I mean? It's like, bro. So I hope to answer your question, bro. Stay busy. Are you affiliated at all? Glendale, Arizona? Okay. That's what's up. So yeah, homie, I would say just try to strive to be better and do better, homie. Nobody's gonna try to beat you up for getting your high school diploma. I'll tell you that right now. Let's go.
How did you turn into a motivational speaker? What steps did you take?
So it's funny. It's funny because I was just talking about it today. I used to do music, and I used to perform on stages in front of a lot of people, and because I was actively in my addiction, it didn't work out that way. So I don't know. I've always loved writing, so I knew how to write, and I knew I had a message, and when I pieced my message together, it just came natural to me. And then when you have a message, you have purpose, and when you have purpose, you have a way to get out in front of people and share that message. Because when you have a message of growth, when you have a message, whether it's to kids, whether it's to adults, you don't keep it to yourself. You go and share that message, whether it's about God, whether it's about love, whatever that message is, you get out there and you share that message. So that's kind of how the motivational speaking kind of worked out for me. Thank you, bro. There was another one. Oh, yeah, what's up, bro?
What tool did you use to help you get rid of the guilt of not taking control of your life and really get into it and be able to actually love yourself?
Yeah, I think, man, for a long time, I was in my kids' lives, but I really wasn't. I was there, but I wasn't. I wasn't giving them the full energy that my kids deserved. I was expending a lot of my energy elsewhere, whether it was drugs, whether it was the streets, whether it was my other family, my brother, and I would come home and give them the crumbs, thinking I'm giving them the best of myself. So, there was guilt there, but I like my daughter, our kids, what they understand is always will understand is the language of love. No matter how you feel, no matter how guilty you feel, just know that they love you, and the more love you show them, they will always understand that. And celebrate yourself, even though, like I said, celebrate yourself, bro. Even though you may not feel like you're the best father, you wake up every day. Do you actively try to make communication with them and talk to them? Man, celebrate that. Are they gravitating towards that interaction at all? Yeah, man, just celebrate that. Every day you go be with your kids, look at the way they look at you, bro. No matter all the pain and all the hurt you may have caused or what you have done, they look at you with love, with real love. So celebrate that, bro, and feel that love. And like I said, start loving yourself, because that's going to exude into your reality, into your wife, into your kids. I hope that answered your question, bro.
What did you do to like fight the urge to use when you were in prison and you were like awkward?
I you know, I think it was my life flashing before my eyes. Because with me, specifically, drugs is not just about drugs. It goes from drugs, it goes from gun, it goes from high-speed chases, it goes from robbery, it goes from this and that, right? So there's a lot that comes with my addiction. And not only that, I hurt my wife and my kids. That's what kept me strong. That's what kept me saying no. And then sometimes it's just to say it. Like, even if you don't have the urge to say it, just try to say it. No, I'm good. And then walk away and watch how it makes you feel. And then just continue that same energy every time you get offered it. And eventually you're going to be so strong. Like, bro, why are you even asking, dog? You know what I mean? Why are you even asking? You know what I mean? Because when I was in prison, that wasn't the first time I got asked about getting high, that wasn't the first and it wasn't the last. But eventually, when the homies, right, when they bust out and they got drugs, they're like, oh, hey, go ask Max. Some of them are like, nah, don't ask him. He's a goody two shoe. Straight up, I'm gonna be a goody two shoe. Any more questions? Man, I appreciate all you guys. I hope that you guys were able to derive some type. What's up, brother? Let's get it, young. I ordered them online, bro. I appreciate that. You must know shoes, man. For sure. Hey, man, well, I appreciate you guys. Hey, look, I don't know what you guys' story may be or what your situation is, but I would ask that you guys take a look at yourself and care about yourself. Care about yourself more than other people. Appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much.